but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love.
Welcome to another video. In today's video, we are yet again in another Mustang. This is the Mustang GT Performance Pack. Starting off with the outward appearance of this Mustang GT, you know, I definitely love Mustangs. Everyone knows that I personally own one, so I'm definitely used to everything about these cars, especially the outward appearance of them. Of course, in the front there, now this being the GT, the front grille, you have these fangs that come down that just make the front end a little bit more aggressive, and I really do like that styling there. But of course, like all Mustangs have that are the 2015 and up, you have that nice shark nose design. Then you have the three gills sitting there in the headlights, and everything on the front end of this car just really looks nice. Has that nice almost European styling to it with the nice Aston Martin front end right there, the front nose, similar to the Ford Fusion. Of course, going to the back of the car, you have the signature tri-bar tail lights back there that are also sequential. And with this being the performance pack, you also have these nice big black wheels on the outside. You have 275 wide tires in the back and 255s in the front, so it is a staggered set, but you can only get these tires with the performance pack from the factory. So you know, it definitely does let people know, or if any other Mustangs out there, you know, they know that this is not just your standard vehicle. And I'll get more into what makes this a different car, or what makes this the performance pack exactly later in the video when we start driving. Moving into the interior of the 2016 Mustang GT. Now this is not the premium package, so it does not have leather seats or anything like that, but the actual cloth seats in this vehicle, I actually have cloth seats in my vehicle, and I can tell you that since I use them every day and I've had experience with them, they are very comfortable, very durable. You know, you can get something on them and still clean them up right up like leather. You know, it's very nice. I would actually say that these seats would probably last better than the leather seats. You know, like I said, I mean, just a really nice, comfortable seat. You know, I'm used to the bolstering in these. You know, they're the perfect seat in my opinion. You know, they hug you nice if you're doing some type of track use or driving the car hard, but definitely not going to be too bad on a road trip. You know, I've driven my car to college and back and stuff like that. 3-hour drives home and 3-hour drives there. And, you know, definitely a comfortable seat. I could really just sit in this car, and everyone, a lot of people who own these cars agree that you can really just sit in these cars and just cruise for miles and just keep going for hours and hours. I mean, they're just really nice, comfortable to cruise on. Suspension, and of course I'll get to that later, but they just ride so nice. So sitting in the interior, like I said, you have the steering wheel in front of you, the leather wrapped steering wheel, very nice. You have tiny bolsters here at 10 and 2, easy to grab onto. Of course, you have your buttons here for your sync right here, and I'll get to the infotainment in a second. But you have a screen behind the steering wheel here, and that has your fuel economy, your gauge mode, your track apps. And this vehicle being the performance package, you have a different mode than the V6 and the EcoBoost for this year model. You have the line lock feature right here, and that enables you to lock up the front brakes and basically perform a burnout for a you know, 0 to 60 test. Or if you're on a track setting and you're doing that a quarter mile, something like that, you have that ability to do that right here, so you don't have to sit here and worry about trying to, you know, figure that out if you've never done one. The car makes it very easy for you to do that right here. And then of course, if you keep going, you have the oil pressure right here, and then you have a vacuum gauge right here, which really looks cool to see those things going up and down. Just having those gauges right there adds to the feel of the cockpit that you have. And then if you move right down below this, you have your infotainment system, or your basically your radio with a sync system. Now the sync system, like I said, I own a Mustang myself, so I do use this on a daily basis. It's very nice. You know, connect your phone, hit a button, you know, just hit the button, you know, it's ask you, sync will come alive, and it'll say,
please say a command.
Please say a command, stuff like that. You can call someone, play music on Spotify, stuff like that. Very simple to use system. It's not really in the, there's no touchscreen technology here. Of course, you have a keypad right here if you want to dial someone. And like I said, you can connect to your phone and use navigation if you like. But, you know, very simple system. Honestly, there really isn't a base Mustang anymore. I mean, the base package, this is considered a baser Mustang. And honestly, they're just so nice to the point to where you wouldn't even really notice. So it definitely is livable without the whole Sync 3 system. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this thing on the road. Of course, being a performance pack, it does have some extra goodies on it as far as the tires and stuff that I discussed earlier. So let's go ahead and start it up. Push the start, and it starts right up. Now this particular Mustang that I'm actually in right now has Roush axle back exhaust on it, and it's actually a very popular exhaust, and I'll get more to the sound of it later. But just the sound from it starting up is just absolutely mean. It has this very nice deep rumble to it. It even lets the sound of this 5-liter engine part. Let's go ahead and take it on the road here. We are now setting off in the 2016 Mustang GT performance pack. I'm going to go ahead and get on the gas here a little. it definitely is fast. Now I'm dealing with around 435 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, and this thing definitely moves. I think 0 to 60 for these cars are at around 4.3 seconds, and they definitely, like I said, they definitely are fast. Nothing to joke around with. Now, like I said earlier, this thing has 275 with tires on the back, and you definitely really do need a big tire to put down the power right there. I was spinning a little bit there, even with those 275 with tires. You know, it just has so much power. Just definitely a fun and really fast car. It definitely does sound really nice. I mean, just listening to this V8 behind the exhaust that I have, just hearing it bounce off the truck that just drove by me right there, just sounds really, really good. Just feeling this car just, you know, just rolling through the gears with the MT82 transmission. The actual clutch of this vehicle really isn't that hard to use. You know, like I'm in sport mode right now with the steering, and it absolutely just feels really nice and tight. Take some turns here in 4th gear. Now this does have the 373 rear gear ratio, meaning that this car basically will accelerate a little harder than a car like mine. My personal Mustang V6, which actually has 315s. So you know, it basically accelerates harder. You know, it's not an extreme gear like the 410 gear ratio. Like that would be an extreme drag gear ratio. But you know, it's a nice dailyable. When I say dailyable, basically you can drive this every day to work and, you know, do some type of tracking experience if you'd like. And the new generation of the Mustang S550 Performance Pack is actually faster than the previous generation S197 Boss 302 around the track. I mean, these things are definitely an absolute monster. Just going through the gears here, like I said earlier, very easy to shift car. Now you're just going to put in the 6th gear and you're back down to cruising. Now it does have a different suspension from the regular Mustang GTs, and it is a little bit bumpier, you know, especially on a road like this. Now just cruising a straight line like I was earlier, it wasn't really that bad, but you know, you do have a good feeling of the road, especially now. This is what you this is something that you would really want, you know, if you're tracking your car, like doing a drag strip or more so a road course event or something like that. You really want to feel what the track is doing and how your car is moving. You know, you definitely really have a nice planet to feel with this being just from the factory. It feels good. You really don't have to do anything else to the car aftermarket wise as far as handling. And the same stuff that I talked about in my previous Mustang GT videos also apply to this particular Mustang GT, or just Mustangs in general. There's so many so much aftermarket support. Like I already talked about, this has the Roush Alexaback system. Not gonna roll down just hearing that in the background just sounds so nice. But they have so many aftermarket, there's so much aftermarket support for these vehicles out there. You know, you can do whatever you want to them. You can make them faster. You can, you know, drop the suspension even more if you would like, or you can just leave them like they are from the factory. And they definitely are a lot of fun in a really fast car. Just feeling all this power. Like I said, 435 horsepower at the crank and 400 pound-feet of torque. You know, it definitely gets up and moves. And then, like I said, you can just pop it right here in 6th gear, and it's just absolutely silent. Just a really nice road cruiser. So, concluding my time with the 2016 Mustang GT Performance Pack, I can definitely tell you that this is a fun car. It sounds phenomenal. You know, like I said, 435 horsepower. Everything that's been upgraded on this car just from the factory that Ford has done with it. You can definitely tell that it's a track monster. It sounds great, like I already said. If you like this video, you already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in another video.